At dawn, the carrier deck breathes with routine jets refueled. Crews aligned, but beneath calm waters, danger hides, waiting for a single radar ping. Inside the Combat Information Center, a blip, unidentified, closing fast, condition red. Sirens erupt, every sailor moves as trained. One pilot, already half-suited, runs for his jet Harper. Steam hisses. Catapult prime seconds decide fate. Throttle forward, launch bar locks 2 seconds to liftoff. Catapult fires. The Super Hornet roars into the sky. From 0 to 150 knots, the firewall is airborne. Radar pings again, contact inbound. Altitude unstable. Visual confirmed a drone. Boxy fuselage. Iranian design. Weapons free. Harper's thumb hovers. Fox 2 inbound. A Sidewinder screams across the sky seconds to impact. Impact fireball erupts. Debris falls into the sea, but silence lingers because drones never come alone. On deck, steam lingers like smoke after a gunshot. Every sailor knows precision under pressure is survival. Below deck, data streams from Harper's jet to CIC, but for Harper, the world narrows to one cockpit. Raven 1 climbing Angels 15. Intercept and identify. Visual confirmed a Shahed drone. Payload visible beneath. Recommendation engagement. Raven 1. Cleared hot. Fox 2 Sidewinder streaks like silent lightning. Impact fireball shatters sky. Drone disintegrates. But silence weighs heavy, drones never fly alone. On deck. Silence 2. Crews reset. Eyes hardened. No cheers, just quiet readiness for the next contact. Because out here, survival means vigilance always. Every launch drills one truth. Training is the only shield. For one heartbeat. Silence. Then the ocean hums with readiness again. 15,000 feet, Harper scans. Sky empty. Sensors alive. But the drone was just a probe. A test of the fleet's shield. On deck. Silence rules. Every crewman knows this isn't over. Every sailor feels that the next contact could arrive any time. The Super Hornet circles. A lone guardian above the sea. Back in CIC. Tension is thick.
Commander,
Eyes fixed on green-lit screens. History weighs heavy, one fault. One misstep can spark chaos. Training drills, blackouts, storms. Fire becomes second nature, but drills cannot erase. Risk every second is a gamble. A half-second delay can mean steel in the ocean. Drones may carry explosives or worse. Dirty payloads. One detonation on deck, an entire strike group at risk. That's why every hand, every checklist matters. On the Roosevelt. Vigilance is constant. Seconds shape destiny, because in the Navy, you don't rise to danger, you fall back on training. For Harper, the sky is a chessboard, every move life or death. The Super Hornet isn't just a jet, it's the fleet's fist. Mach 1. Ba. Payload 17,000 pounds ready for any mission. Catapult born. Steel forged it, thrives where others fail. Squadrons live on readiness, launch in 90 seconds or less. But even steel breaks one misfire. Disaster follows. That's why shared intelligence keeps chaos in control. In Harper's HUD, the fleet's eyes become his own. One man, one. Jet the firewall for thousands aboard. One probe may be gone, but the next will come. For the Navy, vigilance isn't choice, it's survival. Above the sea, Harper's jet arcs back, still searching. For every sailor below, his silhouette means hope, but hope is fragile. Timing is everything at sea. And tonight, the Roosevelt knows tests will never end. Night descent. But for the carrier, watch never ends. Below, engineers tend the beating heart of steel. On deck, red shirts rearm, green shirts recalibrate. Training drilled in storms pays off in silence. In Harper's HUD, new sweeps whisper of what could come. Every silhouette in the sky could mean threat or nothing. And the cost of a wrong call, global headlines, VAR ignited. That's why Navy discipline is relentless. Every second counts. Above, Harper arcs wide, the lone firewall holding. For the crew below, that sound means protection, but no one smiles. It isn't victory, only survival. The sea remains calm, but every horizon hides question. Tonight, the test is over, but tomorrow, another will come. For the Navy, calm seas are only the pause before storms. And in those storms, steel wings will always rise. The drone is gone. but the sea holds its breath for the next strike. On deck, no celebration, only reset. Reload. Prepare again. Every sailor knows the sea is unforgiving. Mistakes costly. CIC glows with green light, every sweep a heartbeat. In Harper's cockpit, silence is broken only by HUD tones. The enemy learns as much from failure as from attack. Every launch proves carriers are more than floating runways. Each checklist steal only works if men do. For Harper, flying isn't just combat, it's responsibility. The strike group knows today was survival, not victory. Tomorrow, another unknown may test the shield again. But when the siren sounds 90 seconds to see this fate, the Navy doesn't rise to danger, it falls back on drills. Because in storms of steel, readiness is the shield. And tonight, the shield held the fleet endures another test. Every launch is routine, until suddenly, it isn't. In 2 seconds, steel meets sky. Precision decides survival. Every pilot knows the margin of error is razor thin, and yet, they train for failure because it always comes one cable too slack, one jet too slow, disaster follows. The Navy accepts risk but never accepts panic, because discipline, not adrenaline, wins at sea. And tonight, discipline launched steel in 90 seconds flat. Every sailor feels it, the weight of survival on their shoulders. The ocean is calm, but every ripple could hide fire. Harper circles again, the lone firewall above the fleet. Every orbit, every loop proof the fleet breathes. For enemies watching, the message is clear. This shield stands, but shields must be tested again and again. Tonight, the Roosevelt held tomorrow. Another test awaits. Dawn creeps closer. But no one sleeps not on the Roosevelt. Every shift change feels the same calm, masking tension. On deck, engines roar again. Training continues. For sailors, repetition isn't routine, it's survival. Deep below, the carrier hums steel alive with power. Above, Harper scans again. The firewall never rests. Every eye on deck tracks the sky, searching for shapes, for enemies. This is the warning the shield will answer. The Roosevelt isn't an airport, it's a war machine. One probe today, tomorrow. It could be many. The difference between chaos and control training, because the sea never forgives. And the enemy never waits. Every alarm, every siren reminder that safety is fragile. And yet, discipline keeps steel flying skyward. For the Roosevelt, dawn isn't peace, it's the next test. From above, the Roosevelt is a fortress adrift in endless blue. But fortresses are only strong if the watch never breaks. Every sailor knows the next drone may carry fire. The Navy doesn't wait, it prepares for the storm unseen. Because chaos never gives warning, it only arrives. But discipline turns chaos into control. The Roosevelt proves steel is nothing without people. For Harper, one missile today meant thousands safe tonight. But no pilot flies alone. The shield is the crew below. The Roosevelt stands not by chance, but by readiness. Enemies tested the shield today, it held. Tomorrow, another drone, another test, another launch. For the Navy, peace is only preparation for the storm. And in that storm, steel wings will rise again. Because in the Navy, readiness is not routine, it's survival.